Unit 3, Lesson 2, the Problem Profile. Note, there are text and slides to support this presentation at www.archimedes2014.eu. When selecting a problem for problem-based learning, it's important to understand the characteristics of the problem in relation to the learner profile. To do this, we must consider the difficulty of the problem, the context of the problem, and can learners collaborate in order to solve it. Problem difficulty. Problem difficulty must be considered in the context of the learners undertaking the problem-based learning process. According to Hung and Johansson, problem difficulty is related to complexity and structuredness. Complexity refers to the number of elements in the problem that a student may be challenged with. Structuredness refers to the number of solutions to the problem. A well-structured problem has one solution, whereas an ill-structured problem is less defined and so has a number of solutions to the problem. In general, the problem must be challenging and difficult. However, the level of difficulty will depend on the learner profile and if they had undergone the problem-based learning process previously. An example of a problem: how can we develop new business opportunities? New business opportunities could have a number of different elements, such as the needs of the customer, the market constraints in which you're operating, the customer behaviour or the buying behaviour of the customer, the distribution channels in which you may offer the product for sale. The list goes on. To address this, there may be a number of different solutions to develop new products. Promote product more effectively. You might decide to export your products or improve the accessibility of getting the product by developing an e-commerce site. Again, the list goes on. In a more defined version of the problem, for learners that are not as self-directed, you might scope the problem to how can we export our product to Asian countries. These elements are concerned with the market itself and the customers in a specific market rather than several areas. There are fewer solutions. You're exporting an existing product to a new market. However, you may need to consider minor product changes and issues regarding export law and customs. This is an example of how the problem difficulty can vary between problems. The problem context. As mentioned previously, a problem can be taken from a number of different contexts with a number of different solutions. In problem-based learning, in higher education, the context is the objectives of the curriculum and developing a set of discipline-specific skills. In the workplace, however, there is less focus on the context of the problem from a discipline perspective and more about the problem from the context of the organisation and what approach best suits the needs of the organisation. Hong suggests that when designing problems for a curriculum that is not profession specific, the instructional designers can identify several possible applicable contexts and then select the one that will be most appealing to the learners. However, in a workplace context, it is not dependent on discipline and it is concerned with exploring different contexts of the problem and selecting the most appropriate solution for the organisation. If the problem needs to be explored within a particular context, it must be specified. For example, financial, engineering or marketing. If it's not possible to specify the context, an ideal scenario after the problem has been solved must be specified. For example, if we go back to our previous problem where a particular machine has a lot of downtime, the problem might state that the machine is only available for 15 out of 40 working hours during the week. The objective might be to get that down to 2 hours per week. The context in which that problem is addressed depends on the best solution to reach that objective. As mentioned previously, there might be a number of different solutions to the problem, such as training an operator more efficiently, maintaining the machine in line with the manufacturer's guidelines rather than the company's own in-house guidelines, increasing the maintenance of the machine or replacing a particular part. To reach the optimum solution, it is important to put together a group of learners from different perspectives or contexts to identify the feasibility of each solution. A PBL group of an operator, a supervisor, an engineer and a facilities manager may be required. It is important, however, that each member of the team has a context of that problem. For example, there is no point in making a marketing manager part of the PBL team for the above problem, as they do not have any context of the problem or any impact on how to solve this. Similarly, for our previous problem about exporting the product for an Asian market, again the problem may be taken from a number of different contexts: legal, financial and sales, and the PBL team must be comprised of these individuals. Collaboration. One of the main characteristics of problem-based learning and an effective learning organisation is collaboration. The problem should be large enough to allow a number of different people to work on a variety of solutions. As mentioned previously, particularly in companies, the solutions to problems are often multifaceted and may involve a number of perspectives to address the problem successfully. In the next lesson, we will examine how to present the problem for problem-based learning, taking into account the problem characteristics and the learner profile.